All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a tier list here. And for this tier list, we're going to rank every Final Fantasy game, mainline Final Fantasy game. These are mostly mainline games. Obviously, Final Fantasy 1. Now, full disclosure, I actually haven't played 2, 3, and 5 or 6. I've played a little bit of 6, so I do know that. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna put 2 and 3 and then 4 and 4 after years and 5 in B tier, just mid ground. I've heard they're all pretty decent. I've not played them myself, so do that. I recently went through and played through 1, really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I think that's the one where you are the 4 warriors of light and you go back, and I think you end up fighting the bad guy of that, not Garland, but Chaos. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, especially with the new speed up features and stuff. So that was enjoyable. 6. I dabbled with a little bit. I believe that is the one with Terra and the machines. I forget what they're called. The Mako machines or whatever. And in the snow, which you get in 14 as a mount, which is cool. So we have that. That was really good. That's a high regard. One of the best classic Final Fantasy games before they started moving over to 3D style. Of course, Final Fantasy VII is going to go number 1. 100% my favorite Final Fantasy game ever, without a doubt. 8. I know this might upset a lot of people, but I'm gonna do it. I did not like 8 at all. I played maybe a couple hours of it when I was a kid. When it released, and was not a fan of the junction system, was not a fan of the card game Triple Triad, which is crazy. I know, but card games are not my thing, except for Queen's Blood. Queen's Blood grew on me from Rebirth. Didn't like it at first, and I didn't like how they had a whole chapter on the ship dedicated to it, and it kind of forced you to play it. Wasn't a big fan of it, but now that I've had time to sit back and actually learn it, it's good now. Triple Triad I probably would enjoy if I played it more. I do plan on going back through and playing 8 again as an adult to see if I like it more. Now that I'm not a child, and I wasn't expecting it to be a 7 sequel, because that's kind of what I thought back then. But the junction system sucked. Wasn't a fan of it, and Triple Triad wasn't a big fan of that as well. And I know that the Triple Triad is a side thing. 100% understand that, but I didn't like it. Also, didn't really care for Squall. Didn't like Squall actually until they introduced him in Kingdom Hearts. That's when I was like, oh, I like this guy. Final Fantasy VIII, easy A tier, or not 8, I'm sorry, 9, with Zidane and Vivi. Vivi is probably one of the best side characters in all of the Final Fantasy mainline games. Really like Vivi, like Vivi's story. It's super tragic from what I remember. Again, I haven't played that game in 20 years or something. God, I'm old. 10, very good. Probably my second favorite game. Maybe it's in my top 5 easily. 10-2, liked it. Liked the dress spheres. Those were a lot of fun. Those were good. I remember 10-2. I was playing that and I got stuck on the Magus sisters at the end of the game. Those 3 sucked and I hated them. I spent so much time trying to fight them. I'm pretty sure they're in 10-2. It's either 10 or 10-2, but I'm pretty sure it was 10-2 because you had to have the special dress sphere. Like their ultimate dress spheres to beat the Magus sisters. That's what I had to do to even stand a chance. 11, I'll put that at A tier, right behind 9. I spent a lot of time on the Xbox 360 on the Play Online launcher playing 11. A lot of fun. That was like my first introduction to an MMO, so it actually has a special place in my heart, a special place, because that was my first big MMO. Aside from Fantasy Star Universe, I played that a ton on the 360. But then Xbox got Final Fantasy XI, and I moved over to that and started playing that a lot. Even though the Play Online launcher back then was very confusing and it was always a pain. But really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. 12, I did play 12 actually. That's with the bunny, the Viera. And then you got Han Solo in that one. It was okay. I played the Zodiac Age version. I didn't beat it. I couldn't get through it. I think I made it to the forest area. The Viera, I forget her name. Fran. I made it to Fran's area, like her homeland, the forest place. But my biggest complaint with that was the voice acting, and I don't know if it was because of the Zodiac Age or maybe a setting I had weird on, but it sounded like everybody was talking into a cup. Like, do I have a cup nearby? I do have one right here. Like, whenever they talk, it just sounded like this. Well, it was hard to get through. So I ended up getting sidetracked and playing something separate, and never went back to finish it. I would like to go through and finish it at some point, but was not a fan of that. The audio in that game was atrocious. Revenant Wings was a DS game, I believe. I played that a lot, actually. That's like I think, wasn't that a tactics style game? I'll put that up here with that as well. It was fun. I actually played Revenant Wings before I played the 12, so fun. 13, 100% up here. I'm actually going to go ahead and just throw all of these. Actually, 13.2 goes up there. Lightning Returns, I'm going to put at A, only because I don't like... It had the same issue I had with Majora's Mask, where you're timed, and I think Dead Rising also had that thing, where you are timed on missions and story and stuff, and you can only do certain things. If you miss them, then you miss them forever. I don't like the whole being rushed to do things. I don't like that, but it was still fun. It was still good. I just didn't like that little aspect. 13 and 13.2, so good. 13.2 actually was my favorite of the three. It was like my first Final Fantasy game that I actually 100%ed, believe it or not. I loved Caius Ballad, such a sick villain. Was a big fan of that. And playing as Sarah and Noel was cool. The story with Caius's the girl he's with, the prophet, I forget her name. That was tragic and heartbreaking, and it was sad. So I like that. I like sad stories, I've realized. Yeah. What does that say about me? Anyway, the music in the game probably has one of the best soundtracks in any Final Fantasy game, without a doubt. The music to 13.2 was so good. 14, again, popping that bad boy probably up here. I'll put it number 2 because I've spent so much time. Actually, hold on, I just realized that is the old 14 before Yoshi P took over, so we'll put that one there. The original one, it was not good. I'll just leave it at that. Look up old videos if you're interested to see that. It was not good. It actually almost caused Square Enix to lose the whole company, to go bankrupt or whatever. They almost had to shut down because of how bad that game was. Then our Lord and Savior Yoshi P came in and has had banger after banger. So Heaven's Sword, I'll put these up here as well. Actually, let me see. Actually, I'm gonna compare Heaven's Sword to Shadowbringers or Stormblood. Heaven's Sword was good. I liked Heaven's Sword. You get Estinian, and I believe that is the one where Horsefont dies, and that actually broke my soul when that happened. So that sucked. And in Stormblood was good. I'll put that down here, the A tier. We'll put it above Lightning Returns. And actually, we move this up here a little bit because Lightning Returns needs to go down. I'll put it here. That's fine. We'll leave it there. But Stormblood was good. Had really good music. Kugane is like one of my favorite hubs as far as music goes. Love it. Shadowbringers, yeah, definitely better than ARR. The story to Shadowbringers was so good. The story and dealing with Emmett Selk and everything. Emmett Selk, yeah, I might do a tier list on Final Fantasy villains actually, because Emmett Selk is definitely up there, and him being in Shadowbringers, and I believe he was also in Stormblood a little bit here and there too. Was amazing. The story to Shadowbringers is it's peak Final Fantasy XIV. And Walker was good. I'm gonna put that at a B tier though. It's average. I don't really remember or know what happened. I believe they introduced that median, the little flying things that had the little ears. You see them at the beginning of the expansion, and if I remember correctly, they just kind of disappear like for the rest of the expansion. You don't really hear much about them. You're like hunting them down and stuff, I think. and then they pop back up at the very end. So the story was like, it was okay. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Dawn Trail obviously is not out yet, but I can already tell you that's easily going to be an A tier, if not an S tier. Of course, it's Final Fantasy XIV. Like, it's going to be great. This is a sleeper hit that a lot of people actually they're coming around to. I've realized they're coming around to enjoying 15. 15 was one of the first Final Fantasies that like actually made me cry, like hardcore ugly cry. The ending of that game is so good, and the way they have you, because you take pictures with one of the characters, Prompto, just throughout the game, and the end of that game, they have you pick one picture to take with you. And I don't know why, but that was just like scrolling through, looking at all those pictures I'd taken on my journey with those characters, and you have to pick one to take with you. One. That was so sad, and it tore me up. And then the ending of that game, I think it was Florence and the Machine did a cover for this game, and it was the Stand By Me. I could not listen to that song for, I'm not kidding, weeks, maybe even a whole month, without ugly crying. Because that game, I don't know, man, that game was, oh, it's good. It is definitely good. I'll put that up here. Is it better than 10? Yes, it's better than 10. Yeah, easily. It's better than ARR, actually. I'll put it number 3. And in 16, it's average. It's average. One thing about 16 that I love the marketing for it. Ben Starr and the crew, when they were doing all this stuff, was amazing. I loved looking and checking all that out. One thing about 16 that I did not like was the exploration. You get like your main sword, and all you do is upgrade it. There was no really like way to like go and explore and find new accessories, new weapons. There was no hidden stuff like that. I wasn't a fan of that. It was very much on rails, the story was, which is fine. It's a very story heavy game, but on top of story, I would like good gameplay, good exploration and stuff. The combat was really good, but the exploration was very, very much lacking. So I would actually not put that in B tier. Now that I think about it, I will put that above Lightning Returns. That's A tier. So, and then I'm gonna leave Dawn Trail there because obviously it's not out yet. All right, that is my list. So there we go. I'm gonna post a link to this down below, and if you guys want to take this and let me know, or just let me know your top 3, let me know your top 3 Final Fantasies of this list here in the comments below. I'd love to check those out. My top 3 is obviously Final Fantasy VII, 14 Shadowbringers, and in Final Fantasy 15. That's a little fun little thing. I might try to do one of these every Friday or something going forward. Do like a little tier list of games. But for more Final Fantasy content, be sure to like and subscribe. And I appreciate you guys checking us out and watching. Check out this video up at the top right corner for more Final Fantasy content. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.